Good morning. As you know, Todd's in Europe looting and pillaging, or pillaging and looting, whichever comes first, for the next week or so. Anybody wants to come in with me, there's the link. Um, Hope everybody had a great weekend. It was kind of busy. I spent Saturday at a pig picking at my brother's house, and I think I got too hot because I was just about killing over the rest of the weekend. Just didn't have any energy because it was hot outside. Um, Texas, or you folks down in Texas, are y'all getting a lot of rain? I haven't looked at the weather today to see if it's still a hurricane or not. So, just have to see. If it is, I hope y'all stay safe. I hope you keep power. Anyway, anybody that didn't see Scott's show Friday night, y'all need to go back and watch it. It was a really crap show. Not crap show as in it was bad. It was just everybody was everywhere. Hi, Bumcrack. How are you doing this morning? Good morning. How are you
How are
today?
you? I'm getting wet, buddy.
Where about you at?
I'm on the front porch of Mom's house in Houston, Texas.
And it's raining.
It's raining real good.
Um,
Let me turn me around here. I get you a picture.
well, that looks like a Carolina spring storm there. Are y'all supposed to get a lot of rain, or is it supposed to?
Back porch gauge said we're about 3 inches up so far this morning.
Dang, 3 inches.
Yeah, and Beth,
Yeah.
she probably got it worse because she's on the other side of Houston, and she's probably going to get the eye here in about an hour or two.
So it's still a hurricane.
It's still a hurricane at the moment. They're saying local TV and what have you. I just lost lights here about 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
And
okay.
local television is saying still got 80-mile-an-hour winds. So
80-mile-an-hour winds.
it's we've had steadily probably 20-25 for the last 2 hours, and we've had some really good gusts, probably 45, 50 mile an hour in the last, I'm gonna say, half hour.
Did you say that you have lost power?
Yeah, I lost power about 20 minutes ago here at Mom's house.
Well, y'all just load up and go over to Beth's house. I think she's got one of those generators now. So if she loses power, everybody will go to their house.
Yeah, we've got a generator. Hadn't fired it up yet. Mom's still asleep, I think. My brother and I've been up since about 4 when it started. So
Well, I hope y'all stay safe. It looks like that wind's getting it pretty good up there.
yeah, it's picking up. Business is picking up. And sadly enough, I had some sales this morning, so the post office shut down here, of course. So my orders are going to be a day late.
Well, I think usually um, eBay usually posts something about orders could be delayed because of the weather conditions, and
Yeah, I think eBay will give us a break on it.
so
I
that'll
don't know
be
about our
good.
customers, but eBay will.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah, it looks like it's going to be an eventful morning.
just stay safe.
Yeah, that's uh, that's the predominant order of the day. I just wanted to stop in and give you all a shot inside the hurricane.
Okay. All right. Well, y'all be careful down there.
All righty, kids, you all behave yourselves.
Oh, they'll try. Bye.
Bye bye.
Um, man, I hate that for them. That's kind of tough. Hey, Tactical Z, how are you this morning? Are y'all, anybody else getting any bad weather? I think it's supposed to just be rain by the time it gets up this far. Lag, you got your bilge pumps on in that basement, don't you? Sump pumps, so in case it comes that way, you won't get flooded out. Good morning, Ping. Just hot today. Tactical, yeah. I think Houston has just had enough rain. That area of Texas, I think they've had enough rain. They need to get a break. But they say we're going to have a. They say it's supposed to. We are supposed to have a bad hurricane season this year. Good morning, Harry. Like I said, it was Saturday. It was so hot. So when I picked up my mom and took her down to my brother's house for the barbecue and for the pig picking, and after we ate, and she said she was needed to go because she was getting too hot. Um, that was a good. I said, okay, let's go. I used my mother as an excuse because it was terrible. Um, has anybody, since they raised the rates on postage, has anybody noticed a big change in their shipping rates? Are you going to get out of the business because the postage has gotten too high? Yeah, Maggie, this whole East Coast is just killing it. It's just too hot. My mom's doing good. They got her on a couple of meds, but she's doing good. She got to see the great grands and this on Saturday, and of course, you know they're Masons. 1, 2, 3, going on 4. So, and then the sisters are yeah, a year younger as Ellie, and then there's another Piper's a year younger than him, and my nephew's daughter is 7, and another one is 3, I think. Anyway, you know they weren't affected by the heat at all. Thank you, Maggie, for thinking about her. Good morning, Buck Mountain Barn. Um, but we just had to do what we had to do to make sure stay on top of mom, make sure she's doing what she's supposed to be doing, which she's good about that. To be as old as she is, she just doesn't quit going. But like I said, has anybody noticed that their postage has jumped a lot? Because I guess I've got things set at a flat fee for certain categories of postage, and so everything's still staying inside of it. So, and no, before anybody says, I have not been returning extra postage. Oh, that's right. Last the first of the month, isn't that when it went up? It went up. Good morning, Peddling Profits. Do y'all have a lot of stuff going out today? I had two things, and I couldn't go to sleep last night, so I didn't go to bed till about 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, and so I had a couple things that need to go in the post, so I packed it up last night and stuck it out in the mailbox. Well, that's what I do too. Okay. Okay, let's see back up here. Yeah, I've just left everything as it is. Bug Mountain, he uses flat rate too. It's going back up. Are you saying it's going up again on the 14th, Texas? Ping uses calculated. Lag uses calculated. Good morning, Mike. So nobody's really noticed a big difference in it or have even paid attention to it because you're using calculated or flat rate. I guess the days of calculating everybody's shipping is kind of over with because I think everybody pretty much uses flat rate. Oh, ground advantage. Okay. Let's see. It goes up. It will be the 14th before I see USPS posts. Okay. Well, it's Ping says that she passes on the discount. I think it's more going to be more people are not buying because they don't have the money than they are because of the postage. Because if somebody wants something, they'll buy it. Peddling uses calculated. So, it's kind of you just never know what they're going to do up there. I mean, if it wasn't for junk mail, we wouldn't get any mail at all. I think the boys get bills, but as far as Roberta and I go, everything's e sent, paid, so we don't get a lot of mail. If when it is, it's junk mail. From somebody's not paying attention to how they create their mailing list because we've been getting a lot of Joe Biden and Democrat mailings, and that's not how we roll. Good morning, Lady May. Yeah, like they still send mail. I think they should. I think they should raise that junk mail rate to about 5 cents because and then have to pay it to like the city of Charlotte and whatnot for having to dispose of it. Are you use calculated to Tactical Z? Now, y'all that use the calculated Z, do y'all add like say $1 to it to cover your shipping expenses, or do you just go with the calculated? Because some people, when we're talking about returning excess shipping, a lot of people were saying, well, you got to calculate your cost of your boxes and your tape and all your time going to the post office and whatnot. So, like, how many you got going out this morning? You got your little Oompa Loompas boxing and taping this morning. Anyhow, since somebody's going to respond to that question, I got 4 going out for about, well, that's nice. 2,500 for, like, what the hell do you sell? Or can you say?
I'm going. Okay, be careful.
It's low? Yeah. Yeah, 2.5K's not gonna last along with those 100 Oompa Loompas you have down in the basement. Yeah, that's what I want to know too. He's probably selling international arms. That's what I was about to say. Something that the CIA and the FBI is watching him. You know, like he's trouble. International arms. Are you the what's his name? Iron Man. Are you selling mostly collectibles, lag? Okay, well that's better. Good save. Good save. The CIA can stand down now. Wow, Maggie, you got 6 going out. Maggie, are you back in Philly or are you still at the shore? Are you selling like home good type electronics or are you selling like industrial electronics? Sometimes Texas. No, did I say lag? I met Maggie. Was she still at the shore? Or is she back and forth? Yeah. Well, oh yeah, because it's summertime and everybody goes to the shore. Dallas or Saratoga. Yeah, Lag's supposed to fly in and occupy Todd's pool for a few days. Cool. Maggie, you got a couple now? 2 or 3? But yeah, I guess lag between lag and Mr. Sadie and Doug, they've got to have it scheduled out since everybody's looking after their dad's house while he's gone. Because Mr. Sadie must be from Todd's third wife because he's not, Gwen's not old enough to have a son as old as he is. Oh, wow. You know, the cookout we went to over the weekend, I went to the weekend because Roberta had to go home to her mom and dad's house and do some stuff up there. My niece is pregnant with her 4th one, and she is due in September. And I told her she need to be September 22nd. But anyway, she's due in September, and she was running around doing stuff, looking after the kids, making sure everything was on the tables like it was supposed to be, in that 100-degree temperature. She's a hardy girl now, I'll tell you that. Big as a house. My mom kept saying, Savannah, you need to sit down. Well, good, Lady May. I'm glad. If that makes you happy, then that's all that matters. Anyway, Todd, on Scott's show on Friday night, we found out that he was a flat earther. Excuse me, a flat earther. Humans have never been to the moon. Um, we just found all kinds of secrets about him that I think that liquor he was drinking helped with it too. I don't even know if it's still up because he was saying some harsh stuff. Yeah, that was a fun show. You get you get him wound up, and he's nothing comes out of his mouth. I mean, you never know what's gonna come out of his mouth. Yeah, you're gonna have to watch it, Maggie. It's a hoot. Yeah, make sure the grandkids are not around. Absolutely, absolutely. Speaking of Scott, bearded picker, bearded picker. Where you at, dude? Oh, that's right. He's doing auction stuff this morning. By the way, if anybody does any shows, they have any shows scheduled, how about drop me a message so I can put it in the calendar? I'd appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Because little kids, especially little ones like you got, they'll repeat anything. But at least you can say, "Where did you hear that from? Did you hear? Were you listening to Uncle Scott?" Blame it on him. So, did anybody go yard selling over the weekend? Mr. Ben's what, about 5 now, Maggie? 4? I didn't see a lot of yard sale signs out over the weekend. I guess because it's still coming off of the holidays, and some people had long weekends and was gone. And
It was 1,000 degrees.
yeah, as Roberta said, just said it was 1,000 degrees. If y'all didn't hear her say that already, I mean, who wants to stand out in that weather? Yeah, that's what I was asking. Anybody find anything good? Oh, he's 4. Okay, and he's spoiled rotten. Good morning, Sean. Is it Shane or Sean? Yeah, did anybody find anything good over the weekend if they went out looking? Like I said, hadn't been doing anything. Yeah, the Texas Bandit's in the middle of it, Sean. And so is Beth, reseller rowboat. She's in Houston. And like I said earlier before, Houston just needs a break. Either that or everybody needs to start buying pontoon boats. What'd you buy, Lag? If you can say. I told you won't have to get out of those illegal drugs now. You're not listening to Todd. Off that 4K you spent this weekend, you should have made about 10,000 off of it already. Drones. For any of those that have drones, have you gotten the drone license? Yeah, we'll probably get up in this area because I'm in North Carolina, Sean. I guess I think we're supposed to get some rain, more rains. 1K, 4K payloads. Okay. Are you like a subcontractor to the USA? Anyway, like I said, if do any of y'all have any of the licenses for drones? My brother's working on getting his license because he's if you do anything commercial, I think there's like a weight limit, like half a pound. Anything above that, you have to have a license. But he's going to use his for his business also, so he's got to get. Um, well, I don't live in Russia, Lag. Um, since he's going to use it for his business because he has a land surveying business, he can. He's got to have a license. Lag, you got to let the Russia thing go. I spent more time in Australia than I did Russia, and I'm not Australian either. I don't put a I don't put a shrimp on the Barbie, but I do like Victoria VB beer, which is Victoria Bitters. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Peddling. I think everybody was just busy with cookouts and whatnot. Because a lot of my Facebook friends were having they're having cookouts on Saturday. Because a lot of people weren't closed weren't off work for the 4th. Good morning, American Honey. I did have a good weekend. It was hot as a son of a gun, but it was a good weekend. Oh dear God, tell me you're not digging up Todd's backyard looking for his stash. Oh Lord. You're looking under the pool. Now if you have to jump into the pool and you have to reach down to the drain, and you have to twist it one time to the right, 90 degrees, and then you have to turn it to the left 180 degrees, and then turn it back to the right 90 degrees, and that opens up the vault. He's probably listening because he messaged a while ago. They'd been on the road for like 9.5 hours trying to get to the boat. Well, I'm assuming that's starting in Texas. Hope he has a good, safe time. Yeah, I bet so. He don't get out very much. So what do y'all got on the agenda for today? Getting over the holidays, working on some listings. My boys are to live at home are both off today, so I'm going to get them to get my treadmill put back out where I can get to it. And because I tell you what, I felt terrible after Saturday, and I know it's because I'm just my fat ass and out of shape. Well, you need to get out more. Maybe you ought to think about expanding, putting you a staircase up to the ground level lag, and at least have like a viewport up there. Packing, shipping, show at noon. Are you having a show at noon, American Honey? Um, if you want to post a link to it, if you've got it set up already, go ahead. Working on listings. Maggie, y'all still have the house? Or did you get rid of it and get a condo? Oh, yes, on Miss Lisa's channel. Okay. Vacation basement. Like you need to have a pool put in. You know? No, I don't have a pool. We'd like to have one, but we just haven't done it. We're doing stuff like $8,000 AC systems and $10,000 roofs, and I've got a electrician coming out tomorrow to giving us an estimate on the breaker box, and that's probably going to be about another $2,500. But after that's done, I think everything about around this house will be ready for the long haul. You're looking for two kittens to adopt, Tactical Z. Are you being sarcastic? Are you harassing me, or are you being serious? You're serious. There is pet insurance. Yes, there is. Cool. What were you doing in Thailand? Just laying on the beach, Felix? Yeah, it looks like it is. Good morning, Mr. Sadie. Was your ears burning? Because we've been talking about you. You and Lag, John, Doug. About y'all hanging out hanging out at Todd's house while he's gone. She's doing good, and it's a good morning. I didn't see you pop in. She's at a barbecue on Saturday at my brother's house, and she was doing really good. She wanted to do more than she was doing, but my brother and his wife kept telling her to sit down. And then when my sister in law's mother got there, she was telling her to park it in the shade too. So they were all looking after her. I don't know if I could take 22 days with my family other than Roberta, Felix. And you got young kids. So you got to keep them entertained. Thank you for asking, Anissa. She's doing good. Yeah, he. I thought Thailand had Wi-Fi also, so he didn't have to be gone. They wanted Dad to let's go, 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 did they? Are you going back for 14 days solo? Anissa, honey, you really need some therapy, baby. If you don't even want to be 22 days on vacation with just yourself. Um, I do have a question for you from for my brother. Um, your satellite, your Starlink. Y'all stream like Netflix and all that kind of crap on it too. Don't have any problems with it, or do you have problems with it? Good morning, Glenn. Because they've got internet service down there through their communications company. Whatever it's called, cable, and it's kind of dodgy. So it was cheaper to have the kids fly back than it was for all the stuff that your wife bought, Felix. You only took one wife with you? Cool. Like I said, he's just kind of having some issues. And their neighbor's having issues too. I said, well, you need to call the cable company down there and talk to them about it. Because it's out in the boondocks. I mean, out in the sticks. You just sit around and play poker all the time, Mr. Sadie. Glenn, are y'all getting a lot of rain down there? Are you supposed to get any? Lag probably knows how to tell you to do a solo vacation. Yeah, you're not going to sleep for the next 6 months after she gets all that spices and herbs and stuff there in her voodoo magic, Felix. You're not making her enough money, so you don't need to be sleeping. She don't make you into a zombie. that that was a long trip, wasn't it, Felix? Well, I guess not from where you're at. Oh, just 10% chance of rain. Mr. Sadie, you get on your own nerves sometimes. I don't. I just Treat you like a brother, a baby brother, Mr. Sadie. I tell people I have two brothers named Larry. One that lives in South Carolina, and one that lives in Missouri. From different mothers though, because I'm or different fathers too, because I'm not after getting on Todd's getting a Todd's wheel. Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was reading on. Had read that the startup cost was kind of high, but after that it was pretty good. The way Lag talks about his basement, it's probably one of those luxury silos that you see on YouTube, where they've taken a former missile silo and turned it into luxury condos for when the crap hits the fan. Yeah, I was watching an episode of Top Gear, and they were doing one of their little road trips in Vietnam, and those beaches were pretty, pretty over at Vietnam. Pretty blue water, more like a warehouse. Good morning, Jim and Tara. Hope y'all having a good morning. Did y'all have a good weekend? Which I think your days now are chasing the kid. He's 11. He needs to know what that's all about, Felix. There's the chat link if anybody wants to come in here with me. Um, an 11-year-old and teenagers. I couldn't do that. Oh, you're not right, Mr. Felix. Go back and watch. Go back and watch Todd's show Thursday. No, not too Thursday. Was it Friday? I think it was Friday. If not, then go back till Monday. Um, he's having some watches repaired and fixed, and it was pretty interesting about his watch, especially one of his pocket watches. Excuse me. We Amanda, it rained yesterday, or last yesterday evening, and man, the humidity here was you could just feel it going into your lungs when you took a breath. I had to go out to the trash can last night, and it was like, damn, it's hot and humid. Well, that's a 3-year-old. Woo! I tell you what, if my kids ever have any kids, I'll be lucky. And at my age, I'll probably never hold a great grand. Roberta will, cause she's young. You know, I married a young woman. I bet it has, Pink. I bet it has been hot out there. Well, see, that's a good temperature right there, Lag. Cause you can always put on a cardigan and take it off if you get too warm. That new HVAC system we put in, that AC has been working since we had it put in.
All right, I'll come and talk to you right at the end here. Maybe
Okay.
somebody to talk to.
What? Okay, you don't have. Okay,
I don't have my camera on. I didn't brush my hair.
that's all right.
All right,
You never have it on anyway.
I know.
So how is things in Kentucky?
Well, it's all right. It's kind of hot up here right now, but it's all right.
Well, keep an eye on the old man now, because you don't want him to fall out there.
Oh yeah. Well, we got the air on, so
Yeah, but you go outside, you're not going to have
yeah.
the AC out there.
No, that's true.
Lag, remember what I told you? You can
Uh,
you can always exit the screen. How's y'all's business been?
well, I mean, we had a slow July 4th weekend, which kind of sucks. But I mean, we'll live, but it's just
Right.
sort of sucky in a way, in a general sort of way.
It's well, I think everything was kind of slow then. I was listening to some other shows last
Yeah,
night, and
it's a holiday weekend. People are doing other stuff, and the economy's soft. What are you gonna do?
$50 to replace an AC. What are they, like the size of a shoebox?
No, I think he's talking about his car windshield wipers.
Oh, windshield wipers.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
like, okay, the AC for 50.
Oh, yeah, maybe that's right. Dang, what do you $50 for a windshield wiper? What are they? Like
Oh my god, my
virgin rubber?
sister-in-law when she moved here, she went to like AutoZone. She goes, "Oh, I got such a good deal. The windshield wiper blades are $150, but
No, they're 80.
they put them on for free." I'm like, "Okay." Anyway, but they
They'll
put them
do.
on for free.
They'll put batteries in for free.
No, but windshield wipers, yeah, when you pay $80 for them, yeah, they'll clip them on those little clips for no labor cost.
My dad used to do all that stuff for her, and now
Yeah.
she's like, so her husband, was a cool, a retired college professor and does nothing, everything. He just had somebody do it for him. So this is now
Is that handy?
she's going out in the world having having real world experiences she never had before.
Um, Anissa, Anissa. Poor Brandon. Not your Brandon Tara.
Oh boy.
He's pitiful. Not your Brandon. The other Brandon.
Oh, the one that they did the saying, "Let's go, Brandon."
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
Brandon wears that shirt. He had one of those shirts. "Let's go, Brandon." He'd wear it everywhere.
does he? Well, his name's Brandon.
Yeah,
Will he get his permit this year?
yeah. He's going Wednesday morning to go take the written test.
Oh, hell.
And then Jim's going to teach him how to drive. Because I wanted him to take driver's ed at school, okay, next year. He's like, "I can't do that, Mom. I got to take Algebra 2 and Geometry because I got to take those. I want to be able to take
You want to take a calculus?
he wants to take calculus or, like college math courses. I can't give up that period. You're going to have to teach me how to drive." I'm like, oh, God.
Is it not required?
What, calculus?
No, driver's ed.
No, it's you just sign up to take it. I don't know if you pay. And when I
down.
was in high school, you signed up to take it, but it cost you like with it cost. I think you back then you had to pay like $250 or something.
It's required down here before you can even take your. You can do it through an independent driver school,
Oh, I
or
don't
you
think
can
it was
do it.
Oh,
here.
right.
But
Yeah. No, it's not here.
is it not?
But strangely, they drive great. Just kidding. They drive like shit. Nobody uses turn signals, and when you do use a turn signal, what they misinterpret is they think the turn signal means, oh, they're like, oh god, they'll stop in the middle of the intersection. He's turning now. It's like, no, I'm telling you, you still have the right of way. I'm just signaling you my intent to what. When I get the right of way myself, then I'm going to execute my maneuver. They're like it's an emergency warning. Oh, I have an emergency. My turn signal's on. You better get out of my
If you
way.
really want to freak them out, like let's say you're at a stoplight and you're going to turn left. So when the stoplight turns green, you move into the intersection, to prepare for your turn. They'll poop their pants. It totally freaks them out because you like move in the intersection. I'm like, I'm gonna let them start going. Otherwise, you're gonna have them all jammed up because they're gonna be freaked out like you're trying to turn in front of
You
them.
know how it is in heavy traffic. If you
Right.
don't get out in the intersection, and you don't have a turn arrow, you're never going to get that left turn. It's gonna go from the lights are going to go through cycles over and over, and you got that one person holding up the whole line. At least you get one person is able to make a left turn every light signal, every cycle of the lights.
You
But
know, I,
anyway, yeah, and
I
down here that's not the way they drive because it's right. The state patrol's got a thing says you shouldn't enter the intersection if you don't think you'll be able to get out of it before the light changes.
Yeah, Jody freaks out. I'm like, you should get in the intersection so you can make this turn. No, no, that's blocking the intersection. You get a
Yeah,
ticket for. I'm
my
like, no.
parents grew up in Chicago. That's not
Yeah,
the way I
that's
was
how
taught
you
how to
drive
drive.
up north.
I tell my kids you have to be cautiously aggressive.
Mm.
You got to get out there.
So will you go into an intersection, Todd? Tom, like like let's say the light turns green. Are you gonna move up into the intersection to prepare for that left turn, or you sit at the line?
I make a right hand turn, go around there, bust a Yui, and come back through it.
Christ! Oh
I
my
don't
God! I
I don't
honestly,
I don't
You
make.
ought to work for UPS.
I knew somebody that
Yes.
only made right turns though, like a regular, just normal person, not a UPS worker. Just she goes, I can't do it. It's a left turn. I only make rights. I'm like, you only make rights?
Was she driving like a Yugo?
We drive in circles everywhere you go. I only make a right.
The car didn't have the guts enough to make the quick left hand turn.
Yeah. No, I was making a joke about there's a comedian called Kathleen Madigan, and she's from Missouri, Mr. Sadie, and she always talks about her
Missouri.
old Missouri. Yeah. Her mother said that they don't make left hand turns anymore, and UPS saves billions of dollars by not making left hand turns.
Hmm. Well, I still make lefts, and I go into the
Well, I
intersection.
do too, and I will get out there and you know cautiously aggressive because you got to.
Yeah.
If you don't, you might as well do what I just said. You might as well make a right hand turn, bust a Yui, or circle the block and come back. Because
See, it's funny because here you can do U-turns, but in the state of Wisconsin, that you can't do a U-turn.
you can't do nothing in Wisconsin. So
Yeah, here it'd be like, oh yeah, just do a U-turn. I'm like, oh my God, that's so weird because in Wisconsin there is no
Yeah, but you
U-turn.
don't need to do U-turns in Wisconsin because they're replacing all the regular intersections with roundabouts.
Oh yeah, that's true. I hate roundabouts.
Roundabouts. I'm sorry, roundabouts.
roundabouts. That's got to be. If you happen to be passing through Charlotte and you're on 485 over by the Whitewater Park, we have the U.S. Whitewater Park where they practice, like for the Summer Olympics.
Rafting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Whitewater people come over there and they practice
Hmm.
before they go to the Olympics. But anyway, they've got roundabouts on each side of the interstate. So, because there's for the road that's coming across. And, we don't have a lot of those here. Excuse me. So, people are just confused.
The DOT, but
Excuse me.
the reason they're still doing it though, even though there's more accidents at roundabouts, the reason they're continuing to do it is that their logic is that the accidents happen at a lower speed, so there's no fatalities.
Right.
So it's an increase in That's why when they cause congestion deliberately, they're like, well, yes, there will be more accidents, but they will happen at a lower speed, so that's a win. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe not for the insurance company, but
And we do have like old roundabouts here because like you get in these small cities, all the
Right.
like the road goes to the
The
courthouse,
courthouse.
which is right in the middle, and then you drive around the courthouse.
yeah, and
Right.
every courthouse has the same gallows in front of it. It's just creepy. They have like the
Yeah.
same guy must have designed the gallows for all the courthouses.
They need to use them more often than they do now. You know, what's it? Family Vacation. Chevy Chase when he's in
Oh
Paris
yeah, when he's in Paris.
and he's on that roundabout and he can't get off of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's the way they are here in Carolinas. They get on it and they can't get off. I don't worry about it because Roberta's usually driving.
hmm I usually drive and I hate roundabouts. I was in like Appleton and somebody blew their horn at me. Anyway, because what is it? If you're on the inside lane,
I still don't know. I have to
you're
look it
supposed
up.
to
I
keep
forget.
going around, but I don't know.
That's why I always drive drunk.
And you're supposed even though it shows where you're supposed to merge onto it. If there's cars in that lane, you can't merge onto it, and they seem to
Yeah.
fail to remember
I think
that
all
here.
it does is confuse people.
Yeah, yeah. It's wait a minute. Let's see. It's like I thought. Look, kids, Big Ben. Parliament. Oh, was it in London? I thought it was in Paris.
Oh yeah, isn't it Piccadilly or whatever?
What are you talking about?
Real famous
John
surfer-
said, "Look, look,
I don't know what
kids,
it's called,
Big
but it's
Ben."
right by the Eiffel Tower, isn't it?
No, it was in England. I'm pretty sure.
No,
Yeah.
that scene was in Paris, I thought.
I don't
in
know, but
Family
John says
Vacation.
he
Paris
says,
is where he
"Look,
throws-
kids, Big Ben,
Oh,
They
Parliament."
throw their tams over the edge, and the dog tries to catch them.
I don't remember. It's been a long time since I saw it.
Yeah, it's been a long
He's
time.
like, Dad, do we have to wear these stupid hats? And they throw him off the Eiffel Tower, and this lady's little dog jumps out to catch him.
I don't. The only vacation movie I like was the Christmas Vacation. That's the only one I like.
Well, the first one was pretty good when they're going to Wally World.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All that way then it's closed. Piccadilly Circus. Roundabouts cause
I was
tornadoes,
stupid.
tactical Z, so y'all don't have them out
You're
west.
stupid. You're stupid.
Is that your dog?
Yeah, Brandon's like, oh, he looks so stupid. And I'm like, well, he is stupid.
I thought you were talking about. I didn't know whether.
I kind of wondered, yeah, maybe.
I didn't know whether you were talking about Jim or a dog.
Well, I mean, if you saw my son right now, he don't look too smart either. He's standing here in his Cheez-It boxer shorts. And I'm literally there advertising for Cheez-It crackers.
You just remember that when he comes home in his calculus 2 and he says, "Mom, I'm having problems with this problem here."
Yeah, good luck. I didn't take calculus in high school.
You're just going to go ahead and have to start finding these computers and get them on speed dial.
I'm just a simple, stupid horse person. I
Remember-
don't know no calculus.
Remember in school, though, they had that household math
Yeah.
for the kids who weren't great at math? But when you think about it, they don't call it that anymore. You know what they mean by household math? It's called housewife. They're saying housewife math.
Well,
Like
yeah,
if you don't, like if you're just gonna make babies and not have a career, this is math you should take.
yeah, but nowadays balancing the dang budget for household budgets worse than
It was called consumer math.
It was called household math.
It was called consumer math.
And they handed
in
you
high
an
school.
apron when you walked in.
Yeah, there was no dudes in
They
it.
said you're not going to need shoes
Not too
because
many.
there's no highway in here.
there is a movie. It's about the black ladies that did the math for
For the calculations for NASA.
it's called
for
what,
the-
honey?
Hidden figures.
Hidden Figures.
Yeah, it's when they did for one of the space missions, wasn't
Yeah.
it? For getting
Yeah.
them back.
I would just like to
No,
know
you
somebody
think-
that could write all that crap on a blackboard and explain to me as easily as possible what all those little squiggly lines mean. You know?
Well, you could be like Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting, where you're doing like these advanced calculations and mopping
In
the
the boiler
floors
room.
and mopping the floor.
Oh
Yeah.
no, he went in the classroom and did
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, like I said, I would just like to know what all these little squiggly lines mean. You know, it was business math there, Swamp. It's called general math when I was in school. That was just your basic math. It's But anyway, I don't know what y'all going to do when he gets since he's chasing all these higher maths.
Oh well, good.
Yeah,
Hopefully he'll be smarter than us and he'll be able to take care of us.
but he wants to be an English major.
Oh, I have one of those.
I don't make the connection, but
You know,
Why an English major?
because he said it
have
was
you?
law, he goes, you got to use the English language a lot.
What's he going to do with it?
He wants to be a lawyer.
Okay, he'll be able to he'll be able to calculate your bill, your invoice to the eighth decimal point.
Billable minutes.
Yeah. See, there's only two movies that I really like of Tom Cruise, and one of them is Days of Thunder because it was filmed here in Charlotte and it's about NASCAR, and the other one
That's
was
firm.
about the firm.
Yeah, that's firm.
I like that one
I
because
don't like
that
the
was
part with that guy from the oatmeal commercials.
yeah,
I forgot.
Wilford Brimley.
yeah,
Wilford Brimley, when he says one guy goes, "Well, I wouldn't worry about that," and he looks up and he goes, "I get paid to worry about things other people don't worry about,"
yeah.
and he's right. They did have something to worry about.
Uh, uh, the way they ended that movie though was such a like woo. Didn't expect that.
Oh yeah.
About uh, some of the attorneys had been committing mail fraud,
hmm
and that's how the
Yeah, because
FBI
of the
got them.
billing or whatever.
Right, because they were illegal billing.
Well, it's like Al Capone. They could only get him on tax evasion because the real thing that they were doing was the whole law firm was owned by a
Mafia,
mafia.
uh,
So and I think they were
launderer.
laundering their money or something. They're doing
Yeah,
something with the mafia.
yeah,
But so they had to get. They were able to bust him on the lesser thing.
yeah. Um, yeah, because it would have been disclosing confidential information, which meant he would have lost his license.
Yeah,
So to keep from losing his license, he went the mail fraud rate.
yeah. He's got that Ed Harris, a weaselly little bald FBI guy helping him.
Yeah. Um, I saw something here. Oh yeah, about carrying your cell phones around. Do you think? I mean, calculators around. Do you think teachers back like when we were in school, even back as far as when Roberta and Tara was in school, or not as far
Oh
back?
boy. I wouldn't talk, Tom. You were still using those
Okay,
chalkboards and chalk
okay,
instead of
before
notepads.
not as far. Never mind. Anyway, y'all, the teachers expected us to be walking around with these phones that can do all these high calculations and
No, I
whatnot.
remember like when you'd be in math and you like even like middle school, it's like no calculators. I want to see all your work. Like if you were doing like long division or something,
Right.
you had to do all your work underneath the problem and that.
I had this one friend in high school. His name was Jack, and he was brilliant. He was like a Sheldon with no common sense. And he would work out. He would do simple algebra problems, and he would jump over into in his as he's working it out. He would just to hack our teacher off. He would jump over to like throw in some algebra 2 calculations into it, and calculus, and then he'd go back to the figuring out the
hmm
algebra answer. But his teacher, I mean, he'd go from like normal. Most people are doing like a 3 inch by 4 inch square. That's where the calculations were at. And hell, he's got two sheets of paper. Yeah, listen, there was only 12 elements on the periodic tables when I was in high school, Felix.
Oh boy.
And that reminds me, I popped into Goodwill yesterday while I was at Food Lion, and there was would you please get down? There was a unopened puzzle that was the 12. It was a periodic chart,
Oh, did you
and
buy it?
no, I didn't buy it because I didn't know how much it sold for and whether it was going to
Well,
be
you're
an.
supposed to carry this thing in your pocket. It's called a cell phone, and you
I
can look
don't
stuff
do.
up.
I ain't doing that crap.
Oh, you're still using a flip phone.
I was no, I don't use a
Gangster.
flip phone. I was
It's hard to search the internet with that little Nokia, flip phone.
I was wanting to get because I was going into Food Line to get some groceries, and I thought I'd just pop in there real fast, like
Well, some of those are worth like I hate puzzles, but I mean there are some, the ones that are like, bigger amount of pieces or like those older round ones, they actually do really pretty good.
We could get you.
I don't have a lot of luck finding very good puzzles, though. I will say that.
We could get you like a Tina Turner wig and a curl mini skirt, and have that old time beeper and the flip phone. Start a career.
oh God, you gotta love you people. They don't sell for. I don't see any sold
Uh,
on. But they're about $15, and I think they wanted like $2.99 for it.
yeah.
But I don't see any solds on it. So I have a friend that teaches math and science, so I guess I should get it for him and send it to him and tell him to have his little brilliant children sit down and put it together. You know what? I was cool at one time. I had one of those phones that, like from the Matrix, you push the button on the side of it, and the bottom, click out, and that's
Oh,
where the mic was at. Cool stuff back in them days, people.
Oh,
I thought it was like the '80s. You're on the ski hill carrying around your big brick phone.
But I don't really care about phones because the phone that I have now, my son was so kind and sweet to buy it for me because my phone that I was using had a crack in the upper left hand corner and it just irritated the hell out of him. So for Christmas, I wasn't even expecting a phone, and he got me a new phone, and it's a nice phone. I need to get him to reset it because I've got so much junk on it.
when I got my first cell phone for real estate,
Uh
it
huh.
wasn't a well, it was I guess you would still call it a cellular phone, but it was a bag phone because I had the option of getting a brick
Right.
or the bag phone. And they
Right.
said, well, for extra, you can get the battery with the bag phone because then you can take it out of your car. And I'm like, I can't imagine a world where I'm going to have to actually walk around with this thing. I can walk over to my car to make the call. Thank you very much. I mean, what kind of people would walk around with these phones like in their pocket or on
Oh
their
boy.
hip
Yeah.
back then? Because well, it was too big to put in your pocket. You would have to put it on your hip.
Or your pocketbook.
Who
Um,
knew?
my son is ready for me to get. He's ready for him to bring back phones that were mounted in the car.
Yeah, that's what I had.
I
It was a bag phone that was just for the car.
Oh no, I had one that was mounted to the console. You couldn't take it out.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, mine
because
didn't have a battery, so if you unplugged it from the car battery, it was a paperweight.
he because he's always fussing at me. I called you on your phone, and Roberta too. I called you on your phone. Did you get my message? I my phone is sitting on the kitchen table. It just gripes his grits.
I remember when they would charge you by the minute. Remember when your billing was by the minute,
Oh
so you
yeah,
wouldn't call your email to check or your phone, your voice message or whatever. It's like I'm
you
not wasting minutes calling to listen to messages.
you do it. I had Metro Mobile, so I could call my voicemail for free.
Okay, now mine was I think it was
But
12 or
but
15 cents a minute, no matter what you were calling.
but when they called and left a message, those minutes were clicking. Can you imagine that lag? You used to have to pay by the minute. He's probably laid out on the floor. I did have one. We've still got one mounted on the wall in the kitchen. It doesn't work, but yeah, those were the good old days. We
Yeah, it's one
went
of
for
those oak ones that has the crank on the side.
no.
Yeah, you just got
It's a
to rehook it
string.
up.
It's a trim line. It's a cream colored trim line.
Mm. We have an old rotary phone hanging here, and it works. Jim hooked it up.
Well, see, I remember when we went. My mom and dad had some good friends, and Jim worked for Bell South. So when the push button phones started, they started changing over to the push button. It cost money. You paid extra each month for the push
Yeah.
button phone, and he, we had one because he signed us up for a testing. They were still testing them, but yeah, we had one in the kitchen on the wall, and then one in their bedroom with a like a 12 foot. No, it had to be longer than that. A 20 foot cord on it, so you could pick. It was a desk phone, and you could pick it up, and I could take it in my bedroom and shut the door. My brother could take it in his room and shut the door. Who calls? That's just it. Like my boys, if I call their phone, they never answer. They're like, "Well, send a message." No, I want to talk to you.
I
So
don't text. People text. I don't text.
I'll let you text me like twice in a row, and then I'm calling your ass. Because if we're gonna do this, because I don't type on a phone. So if we're gonna do this back and forth conversation, you get two kicks at the cat, and then I'm just gonna call you. And we're just gonna talk this out.
yeah, American Honey. We had a tri-level, which there was 3 bedrooms and 2 baths upstairs, and then halfway, like down 6 stairs was the kitchen, the dining room, the living room, and the breakfast room, and then you hung a left and you went down more stairs, and that's where the den, another bedroom, and another bath was, and the laundry room. Uh, my brother, if he want my oldest brother, who had the bedroom downstairs, the downstairs bedroom, he had to come up if he wanted to talk to his girlfriend privately. He had to come upstairs and get the phone out of my mom and dad's bedroom, and then go into mine or my brother's room, whichever younger brother's room, whichever one was not being occupied at the time. You block all calls. That's defeating the purpose. I don't. But you know, it used to be, Jim. You probably thought the same thing. You could get into your car and there was no phones ringing. You could actually think.
Yeah, that's why I like to mow the grass because I can just ride the lawnmower in my own thoughts.
Well, yeah, that's Tara right today. When Tara's going down the road,
I don't
she
answer my
immediately
phone.
takes a cell phone out of her pocket. She puts it on the dashboard, and then she cranks this 104. It's like Taylor Swift kind of music, and she's
Okay.
just rocking it going down the highway. She can't hear shit. I mean, the engine could be exploding, and she's just
I
but
think I'll know if the engine is
smoke trail.
exploding.
Yeah, when you look at the rearview mirror, you see this black and gray smoke trail behind you. Every light on the dashboard's on. Tara's just rocking it.
Now, what gets me is my boys will get on the phone and talk to their girlfriends for hours. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell are you what the hell do y'all talk about? I don't
I
talk to
don't
your
know.
mother about because we're sitting across from the desk, 2 days out of the week. And most of our conversations about what you're going to have to eat tonight. What are we going to eat tonight?
I hate sitting on the phone real long. And Jim's like, he goes like, "Oh my God, you have a total wrap it up button," and I'll do it inadvertently. He goes, "There's a point in the conversation where all you start saying is, yeah, yeah,
It's really obvious.
yeah, I don't
No,
even do it on purpose. It's just automatically. I just start going, yeah,
when I worked in Rock Hill, I and Roberta was in Charlotte. We basically, and we had the 3 boys. Um, we both, we're on our way home, and we're both talking on the telephone to each other because we're trying. We can actually talk without saying being interrupted by "Leave that alone. Don't touch that. You're going to get burned." That kind of stuff. And we actually took care of business on the way home. Uh, but I'm like, what do you people talk about? Even when I was a teenager and my girl and all we had was the landline. We never talked that long.
Oh no,
What?
Tom! I miss it. I miss that part where it's teenagers staying on talk. Well, you know why guys and girls talk for a long time on the phone
Why?
because they got all these horny things going on and they can't get together to make anything happen. So the best thing they do is talk to each other on the phone.
Are you kidding? My high school sweetheart, we would drive up to her house like after a date because she had a curfew. And if we'd drive up in the driveway and just sit there talking. You know, we'd drive up and the little automatic light would pop on and we were sitting there just talking. All of a sudden, the garage light would start going off and on. And that was, well, later on she became my mother-in-law. She was flipping the lights on off and on to tell Jane she needed to come in.
Yeah,
Now I could if it wasn't late, late. Um, I could come in and we would sit on the couch and we could talk and whatnot, or sit in the kitchen and talk. But there was none of that sitting in the car talking, and that's the way it was at home. You know, for her, their phone was in the kitchen and everybody was there. So
my
there wasn't no naughty talking or any of that kind of stuff. But who
my.
did that?
Oh,
But
go ahead.
I was a good boy. We didn't do stuff like that when I was a kid.
My
Only
girlfriend in high school would go to me. She goes, "Hey, I want to get a Coke." Now we live 10 miles from a town, okay? So it's going to be 10, 20-mile round trip to go get a Coke. My mom, the next, or later that night or whatever, as soon as my mom got me back alone, she said, "I can't believe you waste all that money in gas driving to town just for her to get one can of Coke. That's so ridiculous." That was her signal. That was the code. I don't know if yeah, no, well, actually, we never went to town, so we never got her Coke.
Yeah, tactical. If it was all about reselling, there'd only be one show a week, and it'd last about 30 minutes, and that would be it for
Well,
anybody.
you
For
can make it about
anybody, it don't
you go
matter
to
whether.
you go
Go
to a
ahead.
place where you can buy stuff cheap, buy something cheap, and then put it on some platform and sell it for more money.
Yeah, I
Show's
mean
over.
that's it. Okay. There's the occasional you're having to refund somebody, and sometimes there's trouble customers. But
Yeah.
what?
Well, that's like the little sprinkles you put on top of the cake. There's a million little sprinkles, but there's only one cake. The cake is always basically the same thing. Otherwise, the other stuff's just sprinkles you sprinkle on top. Yeah, you're gonna
Yeah.
run into some little bumps in the road or whatever.
Tactical Z. I had a Jeep CJ5, and I didn't have a back seat. It was just. I did have some of that. The green astroturf looking stuff, the carpet. I did have that in the back of it, in the back. But that
Oh,
was only like, how wide was how deep was the back of a CJ5? About 3 feet at the most.
well, I think it's about 8 inches shorter than a CJ7, and
Yeah.
I had a back seat in my 7, but I mean there was like you couldn't even fit a spare tire between the back seat and the back hatch. I mean,
Right.
so it was really tight. I mean, yeah, there's not much room in the back of a CJ. Now I had a 77 Ram Charger, the full size, like the old full size Broncos.
Right.
I had the full size with blue shag carpeting in the back. And I'd have once in a while the girl's old man would walk by the back of that thing. He'd be looking at the back of that thing and he'd be thinking, and I'm taking her to the drive-in. Oh my god! And I don't know, didn't you guys have drive-ins in your town?
We did, but they only showed X-rated movies.
Oh no! Oh, that sucks.
Uh, Actually, the first showing was a family type movie, and then after like at 11 o'clock at night, it switched over to X-rated.
Well, that's
Uh,
perfect.
um,
You can pick up some pointers, but that's how you get past the curfew. Because I had a girl I dated. She had to be home by 10 o'clock, unless we were going to the drive-in. And then the old man's like, I said, well, I'll have her back by 1. He goes, oh yeah, with the line of cars getting out of there. He goes, you guys are gonna be all the way in Eagle River. It's 15 miles drive back. He goes, no, you better let's call it 2 o'clock. I'm like, all right.
a buddy I went to high school with, he had a Dodge van, panel van.
Oh yeah, those are
It
awesome.
was groovy, man. It had panel, that cheap ass paneling on the, because I helped you put it in there. Paneling on the sidewalls. It had red and orange shag carpet in it. I know every. Well, he used to say he knew. Well, his father-in-law, which was he ended up marrying his high school sweetheart. His father-in-law His father-in-law always said, "I hate to see that little bastard drive up in that van." But anyway, he said God was paying him back because he's got 4 daughters.
Oh boy. We had a couple girls. Now they were behind me in school, so I didn't know them. But I worked with this younger guy, this guy that I worked with at a landscaping place, and he would tell. I knew the girls' families, so I knew who they were, but I didn't go to school with them. But I guess the daughter, one of these girls, she was driving around her dad's conversion van, and one of her female friends would always be riding around with her, and the guys called the van the jammin' van.
Okay.
And I'll let you fill in the blanks. But I mean, I can't tell you how many stories we'd be planting shrubs or whether we're rolling out sod. And this guy had a million stories about, oh, guess what so and so and so and so did in their jamming van. So
Yeah, and they were huge.
conversion vans are trouble.
I know they are, but they were so huge. This one was like $3,000. It didn't have squat in it when he bought that thing. It was a work van, and we put in we insulated it and put cheap plywood paneling on the side. Actually, it was paneling on the side, and we put um, just um, plywood on this.
Wait a minute, back up though. What year was this?
This would have been like 76.
76 for $3,000. You could buy a house.
Well, I know that, but I
I
don't
bought
have.
my first car, a Pontiac Catalina, 70 Catalina in 1982, and I paid $75 for it, and I drove it home.
The first wife and I had a 76, 77. I think it was a 77. Yeah, it was a 77. Um, Chevrolet Monte Carlo,
Oh, Bonnie. Yeah.
and we paid. It was $7,500 and brand new off the lot
There
with
you
every
go.
damn thing. It had more features on it than a Cadillac at the time.
I had a 76 Nova that still had the packing list, still had the order sheet on it in the glove box
Uh,
when I got it. And I wasn't the original owner, but the person paid $4,000 for it brand new in '76.
and now it's you know $36,000 for something that you could put in the back of
Yeah.
that
Well, I now
1976
you have
van.
nobody expects to ever pay off their debts. No, nobody cares about how much debt they run up because they figure they're going to die before it gets paid off anyway.
It's
I mean, with the price, but between the price of a new automobile and what you're paying for a house, if you're going to own a house and a car, you're probably not going to live to pay off the debt.
Yeah, we were getting ready to buy a house for $10,000, and then everything started falling apart. So I decided not to go that route. I started to buy it on my own, and because my dad said it was a good deal, and then somebody else put an offer on it, and so I lost the chance to buy it. But it was just a 2 bedroom, all brick house.
Now, Tom, I could just see you on the porch dabbing your forehead with that handkerchief, saying, "Oh, I didn't know this is what they meant by sweat equity."
Yeah, let me tell you what. When I was young, man, we always had something going on around the Hucks household. I know how to paint. I have that Jeep CJ5. I changed the starter on that damn thing. Must have been 10 times, and I mean it got to the point after the third time I changed it. I bought two just so I'd have one on hand in case the parts place was closed when I needed to swap it out. Never could figure out what the deal was. I finally sold that thing to a mechanic, and he said that the something about the wirings were crossed, so it wasn't wanting to work like it was supposed to, and
Yeah, I
that's
was
the
going to
reason.
say there's something ain't right there.
So it was and it was not like because on those starters there was two wires. The hot wire and the ground wire. That was all that went to them. But it was back up the system somewhere. But I knew how to do all that kind of stuff. Nowadays, you can't even. We had a Pontiac minivan. I could not even change the spark plugs in it because it had to be jacked up so it would be at an angle so you could reach behind to get it.
Yeah, you got to lift the body up off the transaxle in the engine. What's the big deal? You just take off the frame, the body mounts. It's no
Uh,
big deal.
we had a Monte Carlo when we broke the power steering went out on it, like going down the road at 70 miles an hour, and shredded it shredded the belt. So I replaced the power steering on it, and I couldn't put the belt on it because the motor mount was in the way. It had to be disconnected. So my brother-in-law, Roberta's sister's husband,
Texas.
he came. He and my father-in-law came from Asheville, North Carolina, down here, and because he knew what he was doing. So in like 10 minutes, he had it fixed. Took him 4 hours, 2 hours each way for
Oh.
a 10-minute job.
You couldn't have just drew you a picture?
I didn't have the tools to do it with. Now I've got a floor jack. If you don't have, if
Yeah, if
if
you're going
you
to work on cars, you really should have a jig
well, we had the regular
and a
jacks for the
crescent wrench.
car, but here's your helpful hint for the day. Go get you one
What
of
were
those
you doing?
floor jacks,
Hmm.
like they're using like tire places, because it makes life so much easier. Changing tires, all that kind of crap.
Yeah.
All right,
Get
let's
yourself a, get yourself a couple crescent wrenches, though, too. You need two. You need one metric and one standard.
No, don't bite me.
Who's biting you,
This
Jim?
our new
This
white dog.
We got this new. We call him Terrence the Terrible Terrier. He's a Jack Russell SOB. He just loves you to death. He's like one of those Sour Patch Kids. He comes up with real, he's got these brown eyes. He looks at you real loving, and they'll like bite your lip or something. He's just,
Yeah, or you'll be like on Jim. Jim will be wearing shorts and he tries to pull Jim's shorts down and stuff. He's just a
we
little
passed
monster.
him up. He was on the side of the road, and Tar goes, "Oh my God!" She sees this white thing on the side of the road.
No, we go
slowing
to
down.
town at like 3:00. There's this
No,
dog,
it was like 1 o'clock.
and there's this dog running around on the road. I'm like, oh well, it's got to be somebody's dog or whatever.
No, first you said, "Please be a bag."
No, that's
in
when
the
we come
distance.
back.
Oh,
So anyway, so we go to town, do our stuff, go to the post office, went shopping, went and ate supper. I mean, so it's like we're driving back through 5:30. I go back through the same way. I see this white thing out by the road. I'm like, oh, please be a bag. Please be a bag. It isn't. It's this stupid dog. So Jim's like, oh my God, he's going to get hit. And when it gets dark, he'll get hit. So we pick him up. We put the ads on for him, call the Humane Society, all this shit. Well, guess what? Nobody claims him. So now we got this rotten white terrier dog who is,
And
he's totally spoiled already. Which when we got him, he was all dirty and he was skinny and he stunk. Now he's like sleeps in bed and he sleeps on Jim's lap all the time. And anyway, he's a very good dog, but he is kind of a monster.
American Honey says that was what the radiator on her Celica was every 6 months. Total nightmare.
Mm.
Oh,
The
yeah.
radiator.
you gotta get that bar stop leak and just pump that baby full.
Yeah, but after a while, it kind of like quit working. You had to get it. Which Jim.
Oh yeah, we still have Sassy.
You have those.
Sassy. Nobody claims Sassy. We still have her.
You have those.
Oh, we got
Jeeps.
Pitbull mix.
Jim, you have those early 70s or mid 70s Jeeps. You could, four skinny ass teenagers could get under the hood of that thing and do stuff to that. There's plenty of room under there.
I got a V. Well, one's a V8, one's a Chrysler V8, and then that's a 76. And I got an 82, and the 82's that straight four, that Iron Duke GMC, that with a 2.5 liter straight
Right.
four. And that thing, yeah, you can go in there, you can do anything. I mean, it's 100% access. You can get all around it.
There was nothing except an engine, Well, not power steering because it didn't have power steering.
No, yeah, no, it's manual.
But it did have the power brake, thing on it.
Oh, mine didn't have power brakes.
Oh, it did. Mine did.
Oh, that's why people I'd be looking under the hood. They're like, "Hey, this thing don't have power brakes." I go, "Yeah, it does." They're like, well, there's no vacuum thing. I go, "No, you just lift your ass up off the seat when you got stop fast and put all your weight on your foot. That's your power brakes."
Oh Lord, the good time. See, you know what, Jim? These young boys in this daggum chat, they will never know the fun of some of the bullshit that we did when we were kids.
Well, they got
Even though you're from the north and I'm from the south, it's still the same BS at both
When I
places.
was a little girl, one of my favorite movies was Coal Miner's Daughter, Loretta Lynn movie.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, so and if you've seen it, there's those scenes in there where Doolittle's driving her around in that CJ Jeep or whatever, CY, I guess it would be a
CJ.
CJ. Anyway, and she's bouncing around, holding on. That when I first started seeing Jim, I'm like, oh my god, I've turned into a coal miner's daughter, riding around in this piece of shit Jeep, bouncing around and that.
But now you have Grand Theft Auto, so you can drive,
Anything.
sports cars. I'll sit there if Brandon ain't playing. I'll sit out and we'll drive the jet ski, and I just drive it around. I don't do anything. And if you do this on Grand Theft Auto, eventually the game gets pissed at you because you spend too much time just driving the jet ski. So they send out like their police boats and stuff, and they'll come kill you. It's nuts. I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm just driving a jet ski.
All right, it's 10:30.
Oh yeah, Tom's got to go to work.
Yeah, well,
Yes, too.
the wife has a call.
Oh boy.
Oh, the F-150, plenty of room. Thank you, American Honey, for jumping on that with Miss Egg Carrier here.
Yeah, you can put 24 eggs in there.
Who was it? We were on the show
Yeah, when you go with
last
the
week.
F-150, it'll be like you had a truck. So when
It's
you
a
get a
good
truck, you
going
won't be
to
surprised.
church truck and stuff.
Oh, I know. It was at the cookout on Saturday. One of the couples came up. He was driving. They were driving their son's Maverick, and it's a cute little truck. And I'm thinking to myself, if Tara was here, she said, "Oh, you could at least put like 4 dozen eggs in the back of that
Yeah.
thing."
It's good for taking your eggs to town.
It's good
That's
for grocery
right.
shopping and stuff like that.
We gotta haul horse trailers and stuff. That's why we can't do that. I mean, they're. I had my first truck was a half-ton 1980 Chevy. It was all I needed. I towed all sorts of stuff I shouldn't have towed with it.
You got a 450, 550,
550.
550.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it's not contest, but mine is bigger.
My niece and my sister-in-law saw a 450 for sale someplace, and my brother said, "Y'all better get another job besides the ones you already got."
They don't burn. They're not hard on fuel, really.
No, but I'm talking about the price of it because
Oh, yeah.
it was like a 2020.
Yeah,
That's still that's pretty expensive.
the one I bought. I mean, it's a 2000.
4 years old, 2020.
And it's the most expensive vehicle I ever bought.
It'll be 30-40 grand.
Yeah, I saw that little Ranger, Mr. Sadie, you have, and that's a pretty little Ranger, right?
But I tell you, when you come up on a hill with a heavy trailer, psh, ain't nothing but a thing.
Yeah.
It's one thing that 550 is specifically singularly good at. It's not good at going over 60 miles an hour. It's like an army truck. It's like a deuce and a half, but it will climb a hill like it ain't even there with a trailer.
John says it's not. He's quoting you. It's not a contest, but mine is bigger.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, we gotta be transparent. Mine is bigger.
Okay, I gotta go. Y'all have a great day. Thank you, Jim and Tara, for coming in here and hanging out with me because nobody else would.
Oh boy.
Lag, you have got to get off some of that money and have your avatar made.
All right.
So you can come in here. Anyway, thank y'all all. Hey, Major Win, are you going to do a show tomorrow at 10? Are you doing your shows this week? Come on.
No.
No. Okay.
Wait, you talking to the dog or?
No.
Tom.
To Major Win, Doug. Oh, I know. Doug is in Texas.
Mexico.
No, Doug is in Texas with Lag and Mr. Sadie and John
Oh.
Jones. They're digging up Todd's backyard looking for his stash while he's out of town. Oh, you're in
There you go.
Mexico. Okay.
Isn't Texas part of Mexico though? No.
Not yet.
Oh, the Mexican government hasn't claimed it yet.
No.
Sorta, kinda.
Getting close.
All right, gotta go. Y'all have a
All
great
right.
day.
Bye.
Sorry, Major Win. Y'all have a great day. Bye.